I was born in East Los Angeles and grew up in the Baldwin Park area. I graduated from Sierra Vista High School and attended Rio Hondo College in Whittier, California. I grew up with 3 younger brothers and an older sister, and I played basketball and baseball in high school. I was brought up in a lower middle class, one-income family, as my mom had to stay home and raise the 5 kids. All of us boys were in sports, and my dad never seemed to have much time to spend with us. I remember telling myself when I was very young that if I ever got married and had kids, I would spend as much time as I could with my family. I always had odd jobs growing up, and I had 3 paper routes when I was 10 years old. Since my parents never seemed to have money, my brothers and sisters, and even my parents sometimes, relied on me to give them money or help them out with whatever it is that they needed. When I was 16 years old, my dad helped me get a summer job working at Caterpillar Heavy Equipment. The following summer, I worked again at Caterpillar, but my parents divorced that summer and I felt obligated to continue working full-time during my senior year of high school to help support my mom and my younger brothers. I had dreamed of playing college or professional baseball and obtaining a law degree and getting into politics, but I decided to put all that on hold. I began to move up very quickly in the company and was promoted to lead person when I was 18, supervisor at 20, assistant manager at 25, and sales manager at 30. However, once I reached that position, I was never promoted again, as most of the higher positions in the dealership were occupied by the owner's family members. I decided to be the best sales manager I could, and I continued applying for positions even though I was unable to advance any further in the company. I thought I was destined to be a lifelong employee doing the same thing for the rest of my career until something changed my life during the summer of 1996. That was the year I met my wife, Suzanne. We were married a year later, and 2 years later we had my son, James. Having a family made me realize how many hours and how much traveling I was doing for the company, and I began to see my future of never seeing my kids grow up, and I remembered the promise I had made to myself when I was a young boy. The turning point for me was the day I had to take my 3-month-old son to a daycare facility because my wife had to return to work. I began to think that there had to be a way to fulfill my dream of being able to spend more time with my family, and I began to realize I would probably have to change careers in order to do that. I went back to school that year and took some law and business classes in the hope I could find a career that would allow me to spend more time with my family. In December of 1999, I had a defining moment as the company sent me to Peoria, Illinois for 2 weeks during the holidays to learn a new computer system. My son James was only 2 years old then, and I realized I had to make a change soon or I would never be able to see my kids grow up. In January of 2000, I put together a resume and sent it out to a few well-known companies, but did not receive any interview offers. A few months later, I received a voice message on my home phone from a man with a thick German accent, and it said that my name had been given to him as someone who may be interested in a position with their firm, and that they had just opened an office in Diamond Bar, which was very close to my home in Walnut. The man mentioned the name of the company, but it was very hard to make out, and I was unable to find out anything about the company or what they did, so I called the number and set up an interview. I actually thought the man was calling from Germany, and somehow my resume had made it all the way to Europe. The first person I met at the Diamond Bar office was Christopher Schleman, and I went through 3 interviews with Christopher before I decided to join the company on a part-time basis. I later met the man who had originally called me and found out that he had not called from Germany and that he had gotten my number out of the Diamond Bar phone book, which just happened to include parts of Walnut. The man had started calling from the A's in the phone book and was purposely calling during the day so he could just leave messages. He happened to get to the M's in the phone book right at the time I was looking. Was this a coincidence or did it happen for a reason? For the nearly past 15 years, I've been able to spend as much time as I want with my family. I was a classroom parent volunteer and also a volunteer in the library in my youngest son's elementary school for 5 years, and went to all of his field trips and even coached one of his baseball teams. My youngest son has been playing travel ice hockey for 11 seasons now, and I very rarely miss a practice, a game, or a tournament. I worked hard to get promoted to SMD and become a 6-figure earner with WFG Transamerica, and I continue to build a successful business with the help of my team, all the while being able to schedule my work time around my family, rather than the other way around as I had to do for nearly 25 years in corporate America. I've always loved helping people, whether they be clients or associates, and I take great pride in seeing others succeed and knowing I had a part in their success. One of the affirmations that I say to myself every day is, I thank God every day for giving me the strength and determination to stick it out all these years, and I know I owe everything to Him. And I now dedicate the rest of my life to helping others achieve their dreams as well. Thank you.